Hey, morning, Daniel. It's been a while. Let's see, just setting things up right now. Oh, I haven't been checking my Discord. I have quite a few messages here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's see. How do I go into the lobby? Right. Screen. Sphere. Go live. Okay. Good morning, Turf. It's been a while. Still dealing with my sleeping issues, but it's all good. Don't need to be awake to trade. Good morning, Augustine. I've seen your live trading videos. I like it a lot. I still think obviously there's room for a little improvement, but you are doing awesome. The only I just say this right now since you're here. The only thing that I see that is early entries. I'm sure you already know that. You but you are picking awesome trades. PH Bid says you can't hear my voice. You should. Hey, good morning, Yang. Yeah, it's been a while, so I figured I stream, even though my latest video said I wasn't going to, but today is a good day. I took a chance on Hertz because of the bankruptcy yesterday, so let me just recap real fast. Yesterday was a bad day for Hertz. It was halting several times, and let's go on ones then. I don't even think it was opened the entire day. So it opened in the 40-cent range. So it ended up becoming a penny stock because, you know, the coronavirus and how there really just isn't anybody traveling or renting cars. But it was really, I think it was really a overreaction. Probably not, but there was also Carl Icahn that said that this wasn't the first time that this thing went bankrupt and just didn't go. This reminds me of JCPenney's, where in 4 or 5 years ago they were going bankrupt, and they're still around. And I just recently heard last week that they're going bankrupt again. So possibly an overreaction. So I went long yesterday, and you'll see it in the latest video. But then today, so the high of yesterday was 147, and then today it actually went to 149. It tried again, and I went short on this one, and I'll post a video on this one, but it's probably one of my largest wins this month. Okay. Julian. Good morning, Julian. People are changing their names. Thanks, J-Man. It was a slight risk. It definitely didn't have our shape, but it did have the daily resist, and it had that volume. Man, this thing has volume. It's crazy. Good morning, Pedro. I live stream every day. I wish I could. Generally, the trend seems to be like this, and I'm always most vulnerable the earliest Monday and Tuesdays, because I really want the week to start strong. And because we were off Memorial's Day, happy belated Memorial's Day, by the way, then I have Tuesday. What do they say? This is a job where we can't wait for Friday to come around, and we can't wait for Monday to come back. So there was no Monday for us traders. So Tuesday was really important to me, and I really flopped yesterday. Again, the video will be scheduled for 12 p.m. today. So today was really important. I woke up, same story, guys. Just being a bum, getting 3 or 4 hours of continuous sleep, waking up at 9:15, 45 minutes after the bell, so I can have three consecutive green candles, and then I look for something. And in this case, I went straight to HTZ because of all the volume that it has. That's about it. And I'm seeing it on my count. mRNA. A lot of volume down there. I'm just talking about it, but that is definitely looking great. It's all the way in the band, mRNA, and has the ramp. This is a beautiful shape, and it's already kind of went for me. 3 cents, 4 cents spread. Oh, sometimes 6 cents spread. Yeah, this thing already went. Oh, look at that! Look at that range. Every line is $1. This was a great trade if you took it. Didn't have a chance to check the daily. Let me see. So doctor prescribed me some sleeping meds. I just have to pick it up. Ambien, the astronaut pills. I don't really like using them. If any of y'all tried Ambien before, I wonder if y'all ever sleptwalk like I do. 3 times I took Ambien back in the days, and I ended up sleepwalking towards my computer. I got on eBay, and before I know it, within 2 weeks, I was receiving a whole bunch of gifts that I don't even remember buying. Yeah, mRNA was a great call. Thinkorswim was down a few days ago, as in like Friday. I don't know. I didn't trade Friday, and yet Monday was fine. But there is somebody you guys may not know this, but I actually enjoy watching new traders that stream. One of them is shout out to Trey. on Squirrel Trader. He's very animated, and he records his daily trades. I like to watch his breakouts because he's continually he's very vocal about his thought process. Why the hell am I talking about him? It just really helps me understand the mindset of a newer trader. So, I mean, if you guys are interested in seeing what a new trader thinks and how they think, and I think he's going to do great. Oh, speaking of which, on a tangent, Augustine already caught on with this. He asked me what to use to record your streams or record your trades, and the last live stream, everyone reminded me that OBS is a great platform. So here's OBS right here. It's free, by the way. Inception. This one will be great to download, and you can actually stream if you wanted to. Record your trades, so you can always go back and see what you did wrong or right. OBS Studio. I used OBS. There's two OBS. Here's the symbol. OBS Studio is free, and the great thing about it is, I mean, I have 10 terabytes of hard drive, but because I record every single day, it's really a good idea to just upload it to the cloud. In my case, I just upload it to YouTube, and if you don't want anyone to see it, just upload it and put it as unlisted or private. If you'd like me to look at it when I have time, I'll look at it and I'll let you know what I think. I'm very gentle. I won't hurt you. But just watching how other people trade, it sharpens, like I say, iron sharpens iron, guys. So it really helps me identify stuff. So Squirrel Trader, he does breakouts. So I like to watch, his breakouts, and he is technically, where I am with breakouts, like 60-40. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Augustine. I see you improving really fast. BYND. Beyond Meat is going down. How did mRNA go all the way? It is. mRNA was a great call. It just keeps going. There's a lot of range. So this blue line right here is the 9 EMA, and I always check it on the 5-minute chart to see how far it is. That basically is more or less equivalent to an RSI, relative strength index, telling me how much elasticity, how far stretched is that rubber band. So that was a good call. Still early in the day and it's about to curl. Had a little resistance at 48. Personally, you already know that I'd be out, but the volume is still low. So it doesn't show that it's really that interested in turning around. Yang, you joined his Discord? Awesome. I mean, he's not my friend or anything, and but I voiced my opinion about him because he was having a continuous bad days. So, I mean, I don't want to see anyone fail, and as a beginner, when you don't have enough fortitude, which is proportional to the amount of years you trade. I think this is his first year. It's always important to remind newer traders that statistics is still statistics. If you paper trade and you're 60%, you're going to be 60% in real life as long as you don't as long as you trade like a machine. Oh, his name's Frank? Totally butchered his name. Well, Yang, if you could, tell him I said hi. I think I voiced my opinion to him about the level 2, and because he wasn't using the level 2. So recently I noticed that he started using level 2. And then I do also see a time in sales, which personally I think he could make it a little bit bigger. This right here, the way I have it set up, is probably the bare minimum. I really like the time in sales to reach from very top to bottom. That's just me. For an engineer, Frank, Yang, he sure does talk. All my engineer friends don't talk. Yeah, he trades breakouts only, which is conducive to a counter trends mindset. When I say, the breakout is the opposite of a counter trend, right? So having someone like him talk about a breakout, we can actually help each other in some ways. If he thinks it's a breakout and I think it's a reversal, then there's something to worry about, right? Yeah, Yang, please tell him I said hi. I'm not trying to steal his subscribers, but I think we all generally have similar subscribers. In fact, I really don't care about, I care about my subscribers. It's just because I love that my passive income is just I like being under the radar. The more people you have, it's not like you can filter your haters. This LTHM really tanked here, so there is a scalp. LTHM, Lima Tango Hotel M. I need to work on my NATO. Right here, it just went straight down here. mRNA really went without me. How beautiful is that, guys? So the thing about, so now the volume is climbing a little bit here. That does kind of suggest that it may be hesitant. Just a little bit, just climbing a little bit. And it's totally approaching the 5-minute 90 MA now. Got in at 47. That is something to brag about. Nice job. Oh, you're all out at 48.5? I like how you're not entirely too greedy today. Was there a fake out there? Let me see. Yeah, okay, I see how it wanted to come down just a little bit. And it's contending against the 49 area now. Nice job. Okay, let's move on. Bear's always watching the overall market's action. He's saying that should be a bounce soon on the Discord. You know, that's something my dad always asks me. Wow, he'll say something like, "Wow, the market really messed up today, didn't it?" And I'm like, as a day trader, I'm thinking, I have no idea what happened today. I don't even know if it was red or green. All I knew was what it did that 5 minutes. So it was red yesterday, and it's really red today, isn't it? And it just begun. So a lot of you guys may have seen my older videos, which I cringe now watching. I've actually I decided to review my old videos, and I just can't stand the way I traded. It worked, but wow, I was a real risk taker back then. And I would always talk about the SPY being the wind, which I still believe it is, because whichever way it goes, weaker stocks will get blown around with it. But when we have a trade that is very adamant in its direction, regardless of the SPY, those are the best trades. The one that just defies SPY, because it has its own agenda. Just saying, lately I still look at SPY, but when I'm in a trade, it doesn't really matter anymore if it's a good trade. A good trade really will go the way it wants to. And on the same coin, if SPY is going down and everything's going down, and my trade ideas, you can tell right now it's telling me that everything is going down. There's a lot of new lows. I become weary about what my scanners are giving me, because it's relative to the SPY. And if SPY doesn't want to bounce, then none of these counters that are red will bounce, technically speaking. Good morning, Daily Tube Show. Oh, Joe Dagger says DIA, Pen, and DKNG. Okay. I think I'm late. Today at 10:56. That was 2 minutes ago. DIA. They do have range. 2 minutes ago. These, to me, Joe Dagger, are similar to, more like Bollinger Band plays. They're a good look. I mean, there's definitely a strategy here, the way it bounces off. But I'm always looking for the extremes. But if you know how to trade them, I'm sure somebody like Bear. When you see somebody that trades one ticker over and over again, those are the ones that are looking for reversals within one trade. Whereas you already know that I rarely take a trade twice unless I'm trying to find the very top and very bottom. So if I see a stock that double bottoms, like Pen here, I won't take it, even though it looks good for a channel rebound. I don't do channel rebounds because it could potentially be a breakout. In this case, look, it did break out and it reversed. Things get a little too sketchy for me to take it. Not to say it won't work, and if you take enough of them, I'm sure it'll be in your favor if you're good at it, okay? I'm just saying that it doesn't fit my parameters. Okay, morning, Eric. Eric asks, I noticed a counter 1 and 2, and a couple others that were showing on your scanner, so I could follow along. Where were they different? Any idea why? Or we're way different? I'm not entirely sure what you're asking, Eric. You do have my scanner, so how are they different, I guess? Well, the small cap is for the cheap stocks. And then the counter 2 is a little bit broader than the counter 1. And by the way, if any of you guys would like the scanner, just hit me up and I'll send it to you. Nvidia is definitely showing something. Nvidia is not doing well today, is it? NVDA. It is doing a constant reset, so it does look predictable, right? And the volume is ramping here, so this does look like a solid bounce. Gianluca asks, is he here? No, he's not. I'll direct message him. Man, I'm sorry guys, it's been a while. I guess, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed by all the messages, so I just kind of don't look at them. So it is partially intentional that I don't answer, but it's not like you don't matter to me. In fact, I know that I'm fairly certain I flopped yesterday because I didn't sleep well. So I'm kind of weary on my actions, and as I should be. AVIO. Oh, this one dived down quite a bit, didn't it? Wow. EIGI. Echo India Golf India is having a great day. It really did shoot up today. So here's the daily, and it had a little red day yesterday, but it's recovering huge today. It's at this area right here. It could come higher to the 4s. This is a cheap stock, but look how it just shot up like this. It is pretty. Don't know if you guys have shares. Let me go try out my new. No shares for TradeNet guys, but I'm sure Interactive Brokers or even Lightspeed will have this. I would keep an eye out on Echo India Golf India for a possible reversal. Look at the 15s. This thing is pretty, and it has the ramp and volume. It already has this much volume, and it's only been 5 minutes in this 15-minute candle. Speaking of me watching newer traders on YouTube, there are a lot of new traders I don't agree with on YouTube, obviously, but I'm not going to talk about those. Longster. We have a newer person on. Oh, you can probably hear me, Longster. So you're asking Joe Dagger what does that mean? And it looks like a short to you on the guild, and it looks like a long. Yeah. Car's already kind of relieved itself from a bounce, didn't it? So it's hard to tell. Yeah, Joe, you may want to, Joe Dagger, you may want to elaborate on the strategy that you're using. Boulder is shooting up, BLDR. Nah. Gotcha. EIGI shot down. Didn't quite hit the 4. It would have been much better if it hit the 4, though, didn't it? Wouldn't it? It would be a lot prettier. Yeah, this one is a rough one to trade, I guess. Other than the fact that it was very extended, you could tell by the volume here that it doesn't. It looks like, you guys already know that if you enter a trade, I want that volume to stay down, and this one is just accelerating as it's going down, so it's kind of backwards, and it's still going down. So this would have been a nice one. Needs to contend to this 3-7 area. Hey Sonny, you can short car at 20 for 1.5 gain to retest lows. Okay, so it's a pullback continuation trade that Sonny is suggesting, and it is going down now, isn't it? It did print right down here. Okay. Short at 20. Oh, but it didn't hit 20. Or 1. Augustine's hating TradeNet because of the of what's tradable and not tradable. I'm so glad I had people teach me how to check what's tradable, because prior to that I was just throwing in 100 shares. I don't even know why I put 100 shares to test. I should just put in 1 share. But I would just take a trade. And there is a minimum of $1.50 per trade, so I was wasting $1.50 just to check. Net trader, are you in EIGI? No, I'm not. I'm not in EIGI. I'm actually right at the moment. I'm trading with TradeNet, and TradeNet doesn't have it tradable. Detach window. So here it is. Here is this trade manager, and this is what my friends have taught me. EIGI and N as a no is not tradable. But I think it would have been a great one. I guess the real question is, would I have taken it? And I'm not sure, because I really would have liked it if it hit. It was extended, and it did have an area on the daily. So honestly, I really have to have. I skipped around, right? Wasn't looking when it actually went. So I can't honestly say I would have taken it. It would have been dependent on the action. But with a 1 cent, 2 cent spread, it's a pretty safe trade. It would have been. That's hindsight. XYL. Oh, Nate. I hope you're doing good in your challenge, man. If anything, I hope my live streams are able to help you find something. It is tradable in the demo. You know how demos are. They just bend all the rules. Augustine asked, you like to take the first pullback or the second in your trades? I don't know if you're asking me, Augustine, because personally I don't like pullbacks at all. So you know how one of my first rules in the playbook is trade after 45 minutes or 3 consistent candles. So if you're going for a short, I want 3 solid green candles on the 15-minute time frame chart. So pullback as in a counter, I always love the first pullback. I want to see something that surges so far and beyond that it needs to exhaust itself, and everything else is secondary. A second pullback, I've already taken out of my playbook. I don't trade anything that does a pullback breakout or possible breakout. That's what worries me about the second pullback. Hey, Avinash, what book would you recommend for price action trading? That's a loaded question. When you say price action trading, then I would say, because price action trading is basically any day trading, in my opinion, including counter trend. But I think more or less price action is relative to momentum trading, as in trying to find things that are moving with along the trend. In which case, is really, I don't know of any book that really covers it. Every book that I've read is more or less talking about breakouts and the wedge, the bear flag, the bull flag. All of those books are good. I mean, you could just Amazon that and they all have the same stuff. It's almost as if it's like astrology, If it has the shape, it's possible it can go. No book will really tell you exactly how to trade. That's the issue. So then there are people like me that will say, this is my strategy, because we compound things and then we try to create something. There's only one book that I would suggest, and it's Steve Nison's candlestick chart. He basically tells you why we use candlesticks, and that's important. And it can get tedious. So you can YouTube Steve Nyson. I'll just type his name in. He's basically the genius when it comes to candlesticks. So you know how there are all these analogies or names for candlesticks, like the hangman or the doji. He'll explain to you how the candlestick can actually benefit you and how to read them. He doesn't talk about price action, but he talks about shapes of candles, which could lend its ability for you to understand how to read price action. Hope that helps a little bit. Good morning, Memphis Digger Blue. Steve Nyson also has a YouTube called How to Become a Ninja or Samurai. I can't remember. It's very tedious. It's long too, and it's old. So you know when you find something that's old, it's and is still around, that has got to be some really good knowledge. So watch that. If you want to sound like an expert, Steve Nyson will help you do that. So Augustine asks, so one of the rules for short is 3 consecutive green candles. Yes, on the 15-minute. Definitely. Because we want something fully extended. That rule alone gets rid of all of the channel reversals. I'm not looking for the little pullbacks or resets. I'm looking for something that totally forgot to reset for 45 minutes. And then it's gone to a point where it's going to possibly hit the very high end or the very low of that daily. That is the goal. Hey, good morning, Carden. Very welcome, Avinash. GBP. I should have Charlie talking to me. GBP? I don't even have it. Okay. What is this? It doesn't even have a level 2. Is this Forex? Petroleum Jupiter. Oh, Sunny. Unfortunately, I haven't gone into Forex yet. Sunny, are you the one that Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the Discord about sizing. That's a good question. I should address someday. Yeah, Sonny, I think you found me on Facebook. Structure's all the same. Yeah, we probably I should talk to you someday about Forex. I do have a lot of my former students from high school are into Forex. Seems like it's the millennial thing. Somebody asked a pretty loaded question about how to size up, and I think I've addressed this many times. The shares are relative to your conviction, and basically how determined are you? And on top of that, obviously, how liquid are you? How much money do you have? And that, I think I have a video relating to that. Let me find it. And it's the title of that video was this is a while back, but why most traders fail. And it talks about, I went on a rant that actually the amount of shares is relative to your psychology. I trade. I mentioned that I'm trading larger, only because I want to reduce my cortisol levels. So you guys know that trading is very relative to, in my opinion, okay, this is just my point of view, but trading is relative to your mental mindset. And mental and physical health is important. So if you're always stressing, you have to figure out how to manage that, right? I mean, when you get into a trade and you throw in 100 shares, some people can't fathom the idea of losing $50. I can't either. I remember I tried gambling once when I was a mechanic, and it was the most ridiculous gamble ever, where you just flip a card and whoever has the higher card wins and takes all your money. I literally threw up after playing that game twice because I lost. I lost $40 in 1 second. I think that was the only kind of gambling that you can lose. Actually, probably not, because you can lose a lot more in trading. But the difference is that was a pure gamble, right? You have no leverage. But when we're trading, we have our conviction and our own strategy. So when Jeremy and I say that we are 90% successful, overall, it either means that statistically every trade is almost going to work our way, or we have the ability to be 90% successfully green 9 out of 10 days statistically. So just knowing that, it's easier to get heavier, especially when you have the ability to take collateral damage. So let's just say, for instance, I have 100 grand sitting around. So losing $1,000 is not going to hurt that badly, because you can do that. You can do that a lot of times. You can lose $1,000 every single day for 10 days straight, and knowing that you are 90% successful means that it's going to be okay, as long as you abide by the rules. So you'll know in 30 minutes I'll have a video that's scheduled to post on one of my. It was still a green day yesterday, but I'm more pissed off about yesterday than most days, because I didn't follow my own strategies. If you're one of those people that will bend your own rules to try to increase your chances of success, then you're going to fail boat. Almost guarantee you that you just ruined your own statistics, and you are going to blow up your account someday. That is my coaching analysis. And that's what I did yesterday. I actually bent my own rules, and even though I'm green for the day, it feels horrible, because I know that if I keep this up, I'm going to really I'm really going to get it. I'm going to get caught up. And that's what a lot of people do. They get into they learn lessons that they don't need to learn. They keep getting green because they bend rules. And unless they're good rules that you should paper trade and reassess and backtest, you are essentially taking different kinds of risks. And then in the future, when you start messing up, you really have no statistical analysis anymore, because you bent the rules here and there. You have no idea what the hell you're doing anymore, and you're gonna mess up. Yesterday I traded, I can't remember, TV. It was some kind of Mexican television. I'm not being racist. It was actually Televisio, so I'm pretty sure it's Mexican. And it was a linear grind. And I preached to everybody, don't trade a linear chart. And I did, because it was fully extended. So, NVIDIA. So just, I digress. But the topic was in relation to how to up your size, and it's all based on the psychology of your trades. If you can't take the pressure, don't trade it. The amount of pressure is in relation to your own emotional health and your conviction based on statistical analysis. So and I get this from a lot of new traders that just jump in because they paper traded for a week and they think they're ready. You're not ready. I paper traded for half a year, and I still wasn't ready. I was ready after 1 year. I was so scared to even hit the button. So the people that are ready to jump in basically are saying they're ready to gamble. And I really hope those people, that kind of mindset of a person, has their strategy. I think this is the video right here. I'll post it. It's in relation to psychology. Sonny says psychology is number 2, risk management is number 1. Yes, I would agree. It really depends on the mindset, right, Sonny? So risk management is still psychology based. So when you say psychology is number 2 for you, then I would probably just point you out as a machine. Meaning that your emotions don't affect you as much as a lot of other people if you say psychology is number 2. So you're not spamming at all, Sonny. I totally agree with you in relation to certain people, especially men. But then there are those traders that revenge trade a lot, which are also men, right? Depends on your account. Yeah, sizing is important. So you guys know that I always abide by this thing right here. It's very simple. I know a lot of people just use average true range, but I like to just know exactly where my stop and how much I'm risking. So lately, when you see me trade large, it's really, I'm doubling my 200 risk. I'm basically saying that I don't want to trade all day. So, and this chart looks great. What is preventing me from risking $400 on this one trade that I could possibly make $1,000? And risk management is very difficult to assess, because when we talk about breakout trades, you can easily say that you can have huge wins compared to your losses. So risk management is pretty low. But if you look at the win-loss ratio, is 60-40. So that in itself is very difficult for a beginner to swallow. And I think I mentioned that in my previous video, but I'll just reiterate. for beginner traders that try to do something like a Ross Kamen morning gap play breakout, you'll see him lose all the time. But when he does win, he wins huge. So risk management is kind of sketchy when it comes to win losses. So when I do counter trend, and you've probably already seen, regardless of how risky I am, 4 years ago, I'm 90%, meaning that almost 90% of all my trades go the way I like, and I'm green. So for those newer traders, it's easier to swallow for newer traders, because think of it this way: if it's 60-40 and for 10 days straight you're red, then you're going to start questioning your strategy. Even though, because you're saying to yourself, you only should be losing 4 days out of the 10. But if you lose 8 days straight, you may have already blown up your account before you have another 12-day win streak. Put it that way. So psychology, in my opinion, for me, is still number one. Because risk management, you've done everything you could to risk accordingly, but you still could not swallow the statistical outliers. So yeah, you're definitely not wrong, Sunny. I'm just the people that I teach are on the other end. Are on the end that basically try trading, and the first thing they do was breakout trades, because morning breakout trades, because they feel like why that niche is so palatable. That niche of saying I can trade for the first 15 minutes and go on with my day is such a beautiful sounding thing. It's like it just sounds too great to be true, until they actually find out that it is too great to be true, because they keep failing because they're not fast enough. Emotionally, they're too caught up. So then they come to me after they find out that their own nephew is a day trader, and they're doing a lot better with the counter trends because it's slower. It's slow and it's fast, right? I spend a long time looking at a trade, and then I snipe it. I take it out right when I should, and I get out as fast as I can. So for someone like that, I mean, if you think about it, what is the one thing that most beginners do all the time? They cut their winners short, right? But if I'm looking for a parabolic move, then a lot of times the very bottom, that one move is big enough to cut, so to speak. Yeah, you got to learn it on your own. But I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not selling anything, but the people that I've taught are actually pretty successful, I think. So, Sonny, you are the guy that found me on Facebook. That's awesome. Thank you for your service, by the way. My brother is a police officer. You may know him. What? You never seen me in my life? Hey. No, I didn't. I'm not saying that we've met. But if you're the Sunny that that found me on Facebook, then then and added me as a friend, are you Sunny, the one that found me on Facebook? Because you do mention that you're in Houston, and I did notice that you do have the blue line, which suggests that you do work for the police department, or you do support the police department. In which case, I'm wondering if you know my brother. Not me, my brother, who works for the police department. Okay. You, okay. So you're a different Sunny. Just checking. That would explain why you have so many questions. But it's just very coincidental that you happen to be a Sunny that that is on my YouTube stream, and the Sunny that found me says that he's looking forward to my stream, and he is also in Houston. So that is just so coincidental. Right here. Sunny. Thanks for the ad. Looking forward to trade on Monday on your Discord. Just pointing that out. And he's also in Houston, and he's a police officer. So, lives in Houston, Texas. Just pointing that out. So if you're here, Sunny, the other Sunny, by the way, I know that's not your last name, but if you know anything about police officers, they don't give out their real name. They don't want to be targets. So never mind. I don't thank you for your service. You understand, a lot of police officers have enemies. So guys, if you're asking what I'm looking at, as I click around my Thinkorswim, this chart right here is not a link to my trade ideas, but you can see it yourself. I'm always looking up for a counter 1 and a counter 2, and you can see the time. So if it says 10:05 and it's 10:38, I mean, if it says 11:05 and it's 11:38, most likely I'm not looking at anything unless I'm clicking around on the ripping chart. Sonny, if you have your own team and you're doing Forex, maybe find another channel, because this channel doesn't quite fit your parameters as a trader. But thanks for hanging around. Hey Daniel, you're very welcome. Jeremy was in Walmart. Oh, that thing just pooped his pants. If you have your own team, Sonny, why aren't you with your team? That's what I'm getting at. do sound a little pissed, don't I? I'm not. I apologize if I have a tone. Well, that's cool, Sonny. You're always welcome just to chill around. And talk about other stuff. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the stream, Sonny. Yeah, I got a haircut, Carmen. I risked my life and I went out there. I went out there and got a haircut. I'm glad I'm helpful, David. Just trying to break the mold, you know? Just trying to make sure that you know, right now on YouTube, one of the biggest topics is fake gurus, right? I'm not saying that I am one, but I can say that I have over 15 years of experience. And I studied a lot, you know, level Asian. So, I mean, if I have this kind of knowledge and I am doing okay monetarily, why would I want to charge anybody that's new in trading? Why would I want to take their money? That is the bottom line. GRNQ is surging. I don't need a Lambo. Money is not the root of happiness. Look at this. Greed is not. Look at this thing go. Let's see. I wouldn't mind a Hummer though. I can earn that. I can buy that whenever I feel like. GRNQ. My dogs would look great in a Hummer. Okay, GRNQ is nice, but it is choppy though, isn't it? Karna's asking, can you predict the top and bottoms like Dan? I think I can. I think that's one of the reasons you're here, aren't you, Karna? That's a really good point though, because there are many types of counter trends, right? There's many types of reversals, but the compounded movement, other than having a ramp and having the volume and having it fully extended, is the reason why it's compounded. Because we're not looking for slight reversals. We're looking for the very top and bottom of that daily candle, theoretically. In which case, you can make, even when that ramp fails, you're already near that area where you could recover from. That is the whole reason Dan, what's his last name? Dan Park? That sounds Korean. It can't be right. But that's the reason why his strategy probably works really well. Yeah, I had a friend join his webinar, and he says that he's basically me. except he's you know, he's probably going to get really rich if he pulls in enough people in his webinars and join his group. Pixie? E. Yeah, he only trades the first hour. So it kind of is somewhat like mine, but you can't get the very top and bottom in the first hour, right, Karnan? Because we already know that if I wait 45 minutes, it may still not be the very top and bottom. So that in itself, as his advertisement, is kind of questionable, because that's not the very top or bottom. We know that. We know that already, right, Karnan? Because by 45 minutes, the chances of it being the very top and bottom is pretty high. So it's still within that hour, but he has to agree that the charting needs to develop itself before you can actually find that very high and low. KO33 Cost, I'll just call you Cost. I'm looking at Pixie here and I don't see much. If anything, it looks like one of those swing trades, and it is at a support level. If that's what you're looking at, a support level at 5-ish. But I don't trade stuff like this. Cost, sorry. Hey Ravd, yeah. I'm good. I'm just really tired. Take care, Sonny. Yeah, we should probably chat about Forex. I have a lot of questions in regards to that. I have I may, if you don't mind, possibly I'll connect you with a lot of my former students that are into Forex. Take care. David Liu asks, if you don't mind, how long have I been trading with trading? I used TradeNet twice. When I had my own chat room, I experimented with it, and it was still good. But of course, things change. So I tried it again. I use it to emulate my newer traders, and I like it. How long have you been trading with the student package? Well, that's the only one I suggest. That 25% is a killer, isn't it? Is it 25%? That is the only reason I would not suggest this for any trader that plans on doing this long term. Other than the fact that you may not have 25K just to put into account, but of course that's still your money, right? You can withdraw it anytime you feel like. But that 25% sucks. But that's just how it is. I mean, with that kind of leverage, so 75, yeah. But I'll tell you honestly, I already upgraded my account to the expert just so I can get an extra 5%. But I'm still trading with an 80K max buying power because that's the only way. It just really irks me that I'm trading with TradeNet and they're taking that. And so I upped it so I can get an extra 5%. But I'm still trading within the parameters, as you can see on the chart here. Max buying power of $10 stock is still 8,000. That's just... So whenever I made enough money in my TradeNet, laying around in the account, I just told them upgrade me. Yeah, exactly, Ravdi. There's nowhere you can get that kind of buying power. So I suggest, I think expert would probably be the max I'll ever suggest, because you can make a good amount of money just with. I mean, I would not suggest using that 160K buying power, but just the mere fact that you survive using TradeNet means that you are ready, in my opinion. Um, it's not even the 75% that's going to get you in TradeNet. It's the fact that you can't get a good entry. They'll take a few cents, up to 3 cents. So let's just say you have 1,000 shares, right? And this is the scary part here. 1,000 shares, and you enter. Your entry will be 3 cents away. So you're already down. Let's just say there's a 1 cent spread, and then when you enter in the market, you're already down $40. Not all the time, but sometimes you'll be down $40 at 1,000 shares because your entry was 3 cents away. So 3 cents plus 1 cent is 4 cents. You're down $40. That is TradeNet. If you're using something like Lightspeed, you're $10 away because you only have that 1 cent spread. That's the difference. That's my major complaint, because that really makes things different than something like Lightspeed. Other than that, that 75% is up to them. If you're green, you're green. That's all that really matters. And that would, whenever you have that 25K, or a lot of you already do, you just don't know if you're ready to be committed. If you can survive like half a year to 1 year using TradeNet and actually make a profit, that's when you should jump over to Lightspeed. And then you'll realize life is easier, even other than the 75%. Trading itself is easier. Yeah, I don't even use limit trading because that ruins my game. Um, if I use limit on TradeNet, a lot of times I won't even get in because I put the limit price a few cents away, and it says it's too close. That does not happen on Lightspeed or brokers in the U.S. If I click on the on the if I click on the actual price and on the limit and I enter, I'll get that price. So that is the biggest difference. Forget about that split commissions or split profits. It's really and that's where they get you, because Barry even mentioned a while back that they get you with the spreads, and then I showed how the level 2 and the Thinkorswim level 2 are the same. So that's their catch. The level 2 is the same, but you won't be able to enter what the level 2 gives you, and that is the spread they're getting. So imagine 3 cents. They get 3 cents on the entry. They get 3 cents on the exit. That's $60. So let's just say you had a 10-cent move. You're going to profit 40 something dollars or more, but on Lightspeed you could have profited almost $100. So just understand that TradeNet is tricky, but if you're green, you're green, and if you're green for half a year or more, then you're ready. You're right. You are a real trader. Let's put it that way. ARCT. Am I late? Well, that is a big candle. ARCT is flatlined. Is that a support? Yeah, it is. But this costs. ARCT is one of those that I avoid because I don't like sideways action. It is getting squeezed. You can see how the action is getting tighter and tighter. But sometimes things just stay that way. And I don't know. I can't tell. It's not a definitive. I can't tell which way it's going to go, honestly. Yeah, the instant David's talking about the advantages. The advantage is the fills, because it's a mirror and you're actually not taking liquidity from the market. The fills are instant, so there's that advantage. Say I want to get really large in a light speed trade using light speed. I mean, and I short something at 10,000 shares. Sometimes I'll never get 10,000 shares, and my average price would fluctuate if I'd use a market, because it'll keep adding to the shares that are going down with it, because I'm making it move. Basically, I made the market move using 10,000 shares on something with a low float. I don't know if that makes sense for some of y'all, but let's just say something has every minute a candle has only 1,000 shares of volume, which is really low, right? And I throw in 10,000 shares, I actually move the market, and I'll get a very poor average, and I may not get filled. Look 3-year chart on ARCT. Okay, 3 years. So you're talking about like a short-term trade. 3 years. Okay, that's crazy. That is quite a move. Is it a support? So you're asking if this is support? No. Then yes, that is a support area. Okay, thanks for clarifying. So you're looking at short-term trading or even long-term, in which case, yeah, ARCT is kind of in a good area of support. I need to set up my MACD and my RSI for that, but that does look promising. What platform does TradeNet use? It uses TEFS, trading platform. Do I recommend their course? I hate to say it, but I'm a typical guy, and I never read the instructions. I never watched their course. I think their course is good, considering how I had a few of my beginner friends watch it. He said it was really long and boring. But it's basically trend, VWAP, and pullback reversal in the morning. That's about it. Yeah, I think their material is good for beginners. Okay, thank you, Karnan. Karnan's an academic. He's actually one that actually watched Dan Park's webinar, I think. I can't be bothered. Mostly breakout, breakdown, which works great, by the way. Breakout and breakdowns. I like watching those. But if you're anywhere in a situation like I am that just can't sleep, I would avoid it. Just not awake enough. Sorry, I'm just talking way too much. And then, it's because I really don't see anything right now. I took one trade, HTZ. I'll try to post it this later on today. Should be pretty easy to post because I was in and out in maybe 5 minutes. That was the longest 5 minutes of this month, but it's probably one of my biggest winners. Debbie says the TD course is boring. Is TD TradeNet? Yang asks, what do you guys recommend to a 2 month new learner? Seek all your options. Um, is that not the broadest answer ever? Um, so right now, the most popular ones are morning breakouts, and there's the pullback breakout that could be in midday, and then there's someone like me that's looking for a counter. Find which fits your psychological. Find what fits you psychologically. Yeah, ARCT is the monster cause. Um, but ultimately, for someone who's in it for 2 months and haven't studied candlestick course, Steve Nyson, look him up. That is, yeah, HTZ was awesome. Um, other than that, Yang, yeah, I highly recommend. I have 5 family friends that are using TradeNet. 2 of them blew up their account, and they're happy they use TradeNet because you. So with the discount code, you can get the student account for $2,700, and the coolest factor is you get a drawdown of $4,000, which means you get to go further than you paid before you blow up your account. And then you have buying power of 80,000. That's the beauty of this. So you're really close to the actual day traders minimum buying power of 100k, and yet you get to draw down 4k. And the most common question to that is, well, then how could they make money? Because 90% of everybody fail. So they're going to take that $2,700, and you're probably going to buy it again, and which a lot of people do. So just try it and survive. If you're interested, Yang, I suggest my account manager, and so just email me, and I'll send you his information. He seems to be the most laid back account manager, and he promised my friends an extra 5% discount. But other than that, paper trading. Oh, Thinkorswim. You have to have Thinkorswim. You can fund a Thinkorswim account for, I don't even know, guys. What's the minimum? I put $50 in, but I know somebody who actually put in $25. You just get this Thinkorswim account, and you get Benzinga. You get where's Charlie, by the way? You get Benzinga, you get CNBC, you get all this charting. Nothing I know has so much studies, this many studies. So if you're a beginner, you want to try out all these different kinds of studies, then you need Thinkorswim. It's a lot of information, and their news is really good. I wouldn't use it for trading. I just use it for studying. What? In Canada, deposit is 5,000? Is that right? You can tell on my Thinkorswim right here. Let's see, my main, where is it? Main chart. Here it is. My main chart, which I don't mind showing my account, because, it says right here, net liquid $50. And it's been that way for 10 years. That sucks, RavD. But at least you don't have the PDT rule, right? David asked, "Do I have a daily target?" Uh, Not really. My target is mainly to trade, to just not lose a trade. That's about it. But I am happy with $500 a day, um, on average. That seems to be what I say to myself in my head in the morning. I'll risk 500 or I'll make 500. Today I made, spoiler alert, I made over 1,000 on one trade. So I'm just sitting looking for something really good. Yeah, I would suggest my videos for in the beginner's course on up. When you, if you set it up for the most recent videos. If you want to see me being more risky, then you can look at my old vlog. That's pretty much how I accrued so many subscribers. I was one of the originals that vlogged, um, back in the days before all the hype. I vlogged just for fun to show my dad that I can day trade, and then my account just started blowing up, um, and it diminished because I stopped. But just use it as entertainment because I really don't trade like that anymore. Um, ha 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 ha. um, I use TradeNet only when I'm online. Um, on my own personal days, I'll use Lightspeed. David Liu, 500 a day keeps a day job away. Yeah, it kind of does, especially right now. So the psychological mindset I'm going through, is, some of you guys already know my passion is in dogs. I train dogs. My goal was to make the best service dog and the best working dog, available for the price. But because of this COVID issue and how dogs can transmit and give people COVID, I have to put that on hiatus, which makes me really uncomfortable. Makes me really sad. So I'm not in the greatest mindset. My mindset right now is to make as much money while I can, and hopefully my wife can retire from teaching because I don't want her around filthy little kids anymore. Um, Lou says, if you use Lightspeed, can you stream as well? I can, because I just still don't show my platform, but I trade differently, honestly. I trade pretty heavy, even though I still don't talk about my shares. Um, yeah, you're right. You're right, Boo. I can actually still stream. I There's really not a very good excuse, other than the fact that even when I'm streaming here, I can later on show you what I traded that day because I use TradeNet. Too many times in the past, I've exposed my account, and I still expose my account on TradeNet, and I kind of gave up on that. My account manager is really nice though.
VSAT.
He doesn't mind giving me a different account number, so I don't really care. Okay, my side chick just said VSAT. VSAT. It's nothing. It's a false alarm. It's a false alarm based on the amount of volume. It's a triple breakdown. Okay, Gravity lost 1,000. Ouch. You know what I appreciate the most about streaming is the fact that when I do stream, knowing that other people are following, I trade tighter. I only look for perfect trades. Oxine asked, did you ever live only by trading? Um, there was a time that I had a chat room, like Jeremy's, where I showed my platform, but I'm not doing that anymore. Nor do I like to talk about the number of shares because there are too many people just jumping the gun on their own abilities and just following me to a T where they don't acknowledge their own risk management and they blow up their account based on me. I just can't have that on my shoulders. So Shutsun, yeah, I I do Shutsun based. Is that you, Eric, PhD? I really like the Mandio ring and how they have the dogs attack different areas of the body, if you know what I mean. In the Mandio ring, the dogs like to bite the groin, and that seems a little bit more effective than biting the leg. Ha 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 ha. I heard so many bad things about TradeNet. Yeah, me too. They even bet against you sometimes. I haven't seen that yet. And if they want to bet against somebody, they should be betting against me because I've been taking a lot of money from them if CFDs work the way that people say it works. So I'm very cautious, and that's why I record everything. And I don't see how they can actually affect my numbers and get away with it. Just my point of view at the moment. Thanks, John. I'm trying to help any way I can. It's just right now the only thing keeping me from live trading is on a daily is my sleep. I don't sleep very well. So even right now, as non-animated as I am, deep down inside, I'm dying. I'm really tired. I mean, in fact, if when I turn off this stream, I'm gonna go eat something and I'm gonna go to sleep. Every day, I'm just trying to sleep. Work out, sleep, and eat. Sounds like my cat, except the workout part. NK? Turf? NK? Pop? November Kilo. 1 minute trigger right now. NK.
DSLV.
Oh, the daily. This could be a good area right here. Entry right here would be nice. On a daily, there is a resistance area right there. But you have to be careful because it could go up to the 767 area. Yeah, 767, but it looks done. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's not tradable. But let's just see what it does. If you had shares, you would have entered here, right? At 780-ish. Let's see how far I can go.
DSLV.
Augustine asks, how much do I work out? I don't work out that much anymore because I'm like, I have a weight class, so I can't get too big. So all I really do is cardio. Looks like it's gonna go. Nice call. Oh, it was Carnot that called NK. Nice. This one is scary though, isn't it? Okay, so now it's going against you if you entered at 680-ish.
DSLB.
It looks good though. The one convincing factor is that the volume is low. See how the volume hasn't spiked yet? So I want to make sure it just continually goes downwards. Eric, you mentioned about having your trade ideas talk to you. So this is, I was going to make a separate video, but since you're here, hope you can hear this. But go to your okay, great. So go to your window like this. Wow. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to properties. Under properties, you get to go to actions. So go to actions and it says right here, play sound. And you can set up the sound where you say text to speech. And that's where you get your side chick. Except she doesn't take your money, right? She gives you an opportunity to make money. So you get to have either a beep or have her talk to you. And you get to play.
Testing. Testing.
Just to make sure that you have it the way you want it. And click OK. And there you have it. Then you have trade ideas talking to you. Yeah, but you know how trade ideas is so complicated. The hardest part is just finding where to do it, right? So I don't blame you there. At the moment, I have the small caps and the counter 1. I guess I could turn on counter 2, but I just don't. Because, you know, I don't want her yelling at me all day. Intensity Stockwatch, I tried that. I didn't like it, David. I mean, I just didn't like it because I'm not used to it. I used TC2000, and I used TC2000, the other version, Gold, and that was great for swing trading and short term. I looked at intensity, and I just don't care for it, honestly. Intensity is getting a lot of hype because they offer people like me an affiliate. Not to say that those are bad,
Polarity TE, I think I have
but
$1.15 now to $1.09.
but they get a lot of they're really proactive at promoting their charting, and I still think Trade Ideas is the best. but you can't really trust me because I am an affiliate for Trade Ideas. But like I said, if you use my discount code, and if I ever get any monetary, if they ever give me money for your purchase, I can wire you that money. I don't need your money. I'm just saying that I would only be an affiliate to something I believe in. And Intensity has reached out to me, and I tried it, and it just doesn't match up to Trade Ideas. There's also another one called Momo Radar that reached out to me, and I do like the idea because they show you the chart. And you notice that every time I'm on Trade Ideas, I click on it just to look at the chart. But Momo Radar shows you charts that they think works, and that's actually pretty cool. But of course, you're going to have to probably have more real estate on your monitors, or have an extra monitor for that. The discount is 15% on Trade Ideas, and then depending on which one you buy, I would not suggest getting the premium AI package, because that AI doesn't really work for us as a counter trend. It works for, I actually haven't gotten it to work well at all, so I'll just get the standard one. And then depending if you get the yearly one, I think they give me $300, so I can actually send you $300 when I get it. Just find me on Facebook, and just or something, or email me and give me your
NAKD,
Venmo or whatever.
Getting a pop here on heavy volume, number Alpha Kilo Delta, NAKD.
David's asking, how is it compared? Intensity compared to Trade Ideas does not compare. I have a video about how to set up your Trade Ideas, and if you try out Intensity and you look at what Trade Ideas can do, you really can't compare, in my opinion. That's all I can really say, honestly. Yeah, Speed Trader has rebate on TI. I did notice that. Lightspeed as well. So did E-Trade. I actually got into Trade Ideas because of E-Trade, and then they don't do it anymore. eSignal, I've heard good things about. I've never tried it though, honestly. I'm just too old school like that, honestly. The only reason I know about Intensity is because they reached out to me, and I see a lot of people advertising Intensity and Webull on YouTube. I'm so old school, I actually have to watch other new traders just to figure out what to talk about, because I overlook a lot of things. But the one thing is for certain, Trade Ideas tells me exactly what I could trade, and that's like part of the entire game, right? Yeah, TC2000 is good. I've used that. But if they cost the same as Trade Ideas, then I'm still leaning towards Trade Ideas. TC2000 I still have, and I use it for swing trading. But I don't swing trade anymore, so. Hey, you're very welcome, David. If if you're not in any hurry, I think the best game plan will be to is to chime into Trade Ideas where they have that trial test run, so you can try it out for free for 2 weeks. I think they have it 3 or 4 times. AEE. They have it 3 or 4 times a year. If you want to try it out for free, and then hit me up, I'll send you my scanner, and you just try it out for yourself. Hey, I don't swing trade anymore because, especially right now, how the market is. Say like tomorrow, there's a new case of COVID or something. I don't sleep well knowing that that's going to happen. That's just one good reason. I just don't sleep well when I'm in a trade. So I just don't swing anymore. It's just not my personality. I'm, you know, I'm a carpe diem kind of guy. I live every minute. Maybe maybe if I really didn't care, you know, if there was anything I would be in, like a lot of my family friends will ask me because they always assume if you're a stock trader, you know something about it. So I looked around and, you know, Carnival Cruise, all these
CIS
transportations
says in the coming
that are getting
weeks,
hit really
Disney
hard,
stores will begin a phased
eh,
reopening of operations globally.
the rule
That's
still
CIS
applies, you know.
Disney.
Um, buy in fear. And what people fear the most right now is transportation and vacationing. So CCL, RCL, you know, those airlines, those are good areas to go for a swing. But other than that, I just can't. I'll just watch my family do it. I'm done with that.
Play.
Play. Play is another volume due to the possibility of a breakout. High day breakout. If you're in the Discord, Jeremy just made a nice amount on Walmart. J6 asking about commenting on TGI. Oh, I think he's.
CIS Disney stores will start reopening with a select number of stores in the United States, Europe, Japan.
Resistance in the 8 area. So he's and Greg, he's most likely talking about a short.
That's CIS Disney.
Because that's a resistance area as it approaches it. That could be a good entry for a short because it needs to be able to break through that area. But you already know my he's just pointing that out.
ASNA is Cena Retail Group, Alpha Sandy November Alpha spiking here. ASNA.
It wouldn't be something that I would be really interested in. WAL, World Arm Wrestling League. WAL is. You see how it was a high of 39.31? Even though it's moving on up very steadily, it's not showing any kind of. It's linear. So, unless you're. I wouldn't know what to do with this one, Daniel, honestly. AMD. Ooh, VWAP. AEE. Eric's asking, can you go over a C setup? I understand an A-B setup. How would you more define a C setup? Okay, well, a C setup would be a linear grind. Something that's just... okay, hold on one second. CME. Well, C would be two steps below an A or a B, right? So the three main things that we're looking for is a daily resistance, a ramp in volume and in shape, and what would be the B? That's 2. This is what happens when you don't sleep enough. And when an overextension, meaning like that's why I want 3 15-minute candles minimum. So it needs to be really overextended. So look at CME here. This actually showed up on my chart because
MoneyGram making new highs. Michael Golf India MoneyGram.
of the amount of volume right here.
MoneyGram now
So this, in my opinion, would be kind of like a false alert,
MoneyGram.
because this volume was a push downwards past this the low, right? So if we look at this and then we look at the daily, and it's right here, it could go down to here, right? This candle, the bottom wick of 176.02. So I don't even know if this is a C setup, but it does look extended, right? If I put this on the 15-minute, it probably looks pretty good, except for this green candle reset. So a C setup, in my opinion, will probably be the video that's probably posted right now on my channel. It should have showed up by now. Let me see. It's the one that I pretty much flopped on yesterday. That would be a C setup that I took just because it was overextended. It wasn't ramping, and yeah, it's not there. Let me just go ahead and unschedule it. So that would be a C setup. A C setup would be a linear grind, something that just something that Jeremy, you know, that's his terminology. It'll just keep going, and you have no entry. You have no reason to identify when it's actually going to go, and then you take it, hoping that overextension is enough. Okay, yeah, I posted it now. That would probably be a B or a C setup, but I don't know. You know, C is just bad. So that's all I can say. If it's a C setup, just forget about it. So, anything under a C, and you might as well. Asians like to say A is average, B is bad, D is don't go home. So just, I don't know what C is anymore, but it's not even worth it. ZM, Zoom, really? I can see how you would say that's a short. I'm not good at these, David. I wouldn't say it's a short just yet. Yeah, C is catastrophic. Eric. Basically, if you take my playbook and you keep taking parts of the layers that makes it a compounded movement away, the more further it is from an A setup.
CVX Chevron expects a 10 to 15% reduction in positions across the company. Majority of
okay, take care, Ravdi.
That's from an internal memo report.
Thanks for joining us.
At CVX.
Julian, LTHM. I don't know what to do with LTHM. LTHM is very similar to Zoom, where it's just kind of like it went down and it went back up. This will be kind of one of those
CME.
channel plays that I really don't do. See, and let's see, this is still linear, guys. But JSEC dissected it and say that the double bottom from Friday will be 107, 106.02. So yeah, I think we mentioned that. It needs to get down here before, and if it does go down, we want it to ramp down. I mean, just completely exhaust itself, accelerate towards that area. Then we know that there's not much left.
mRNA, Moderna.
Jeremy's talking about
Headline,
Walmart double
From New
bottom.
York Post
Jeez.
being circulated, Moderna coronavirus vaccine tester fainted, had high fever during trial.
Shit.
At mRNA, Moderna from the New York Post.
Moderna says someone fainted from the vaccine. That's not good. Let's see what Moderna's doing. mRNA. There's the drop right there. This is how beautiful Benzinga is. When Charlie says something, it's pretty live news, real time, and it's going down now. How serious is this though? Whatever Charlie says on Benzinga can really affect the market immediately.
CME.
Shares of Moderna ticking lower now on that New York Post headline being circulated from RNA.
This has a potential of going down pretty badly if that news is valid.
Fed's bullard sees better chance of swift recovery relative to past shocks.
Yes, David, that would be Benzinga from Benzinga Squawk that you get for free on Thinkorswim. Without Thinkorswim, you can buy it for $100 a month subscription. The person is named Charlie, Benzinga Charlie, and the news is real time. So it's very helpful to know when something is being catalyzed. Yang, I avoid Walmart at all costs. I like to live a nice healthy life,
CME.
and Walmart just brings out the worst in me. Costco is nice. So sorry guys, I can't see the only one that came out really nice that was a possible play but wasn't tradable was the NK. I think NK did good. If you it did try to fake you out a little bit, but it's just fading away now. It did kind of scare you right here, but if you entered under the 1 minute trigger, it was a nice fade. Yeah, David, definitely use let me just show you right now, because I know a few people that has Thinkorswim and never knew that Benzinga was an option. So here's your main. Go to support chat. This may be redundant for you. Go to support chat, and here it is right here. And then there's chat rooms, audio settings. Make sure it works. Go to chat room, and Benzinga Squawk is right down here. Just double click that and click on listen, and there you go. You have Benzinga for free. Guys, if you haven't done it already, can you do me a huge favor and click that like button? It really helps monetize these streams. It brings out, I don't know, the YouTube algorithm, but passive income is pretty awesome. That's one of the reasons I do this. Thanks. Yes, smash that like button, but don't hurt yourself. Eric, you have to sign up for Benzinga now? Oh, on Thinkorswim. Okay, good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. That really does help out. I don't know how it helps, but it really brings more attention to this channel. In which case, could be a bad thing. But you know, we want Jeremy's chat room to grow. And of course, if you're already in the chat room, and if he ever feels like monetizing, how do you say the effing monetizing it? I'm sure that all of you old school people would be grandfathered in. Yeah, popularity helps. And for Jeremy, I'm sure, you know, he's not in it for the money either, but making the chat room, if he ever feels like it, I don't think this is a bad idea. If he charges like $1 or $2 just to weed out the trolls, that's always a good thing.
Zag spiking to the high, Zag hitting $3.25. Zulu Alpha Golf Golf. ZAGG.
Shut up, Carmen. I think English is my first language too. Monetization. I'm thinking if Jeremy ever finishes his course, it probably will be a little bit different than my lessons for sure. Because mine are more remedial, right? He does have
BBUS, Vivas shares popping
other
here. Victor Uniform Sandy, BBUS.
parameters.
Hearing they have been awarded a new Australian patent, BBUS Vivas, Victor Uniform Sandy, Vivas with that Australian patent, methods of preventing progression to type 2 diabetes. That's Victor Uniform Sandy, Vivas.
See, this is Charlie right here, Vivas. He mentions it, and it pops.
Shares of Vivas hitting $1.30.
Yeah, Yang, I had a video scheduled that I can't seem to get to. This was that video was for Friday and Monday. I didn't trade on Friday, but I did see a potential nightmare that I wanted to share with y'all. So the thing about the lessons, Karnan, is that experience is more important, in my opinion, than lessons. Not more important. It's just that there's always stuff that I find important that I know I'm going to miss in the lessons. The lessons are very remedial. There's always something. So whenever I see something, I just feel like that's the best time to talk about it. So I think the video that I just posted is pretty boring, but I think it has a lot of leverage when it comes to education. Speaking like talking about how things fail. Look at this thing about to pop. Do I have shares for this one? BVUS. It's not tradable for TradeNet. Because when you think about it, Karnan, you know, the strategy itself is very simple, right? We just have to use our eyes to see something that accelerates and exhausts itself. That's it. Now we just want to know that when it does exhaust itself, why is it getting to that part, that number? That's why we look at the daily. And then once we get there, then just look for that reversal. That's it. That's all there really is to it. But then there's always these tiny little parts that how to prevent yourself from getting caught up like I did yesterday, or how many shares should you put in. all these questions are very subjective to that person, so it's really hard to answer. Like when Sunny was chiming in that earlier, talking about how psychology is number two to the risk management. You know, it's really hard to say something that matter of fact. You know. A lot of Asian traders, like older Asian traders that I'm teaching, they can't trade. They just want $100. They don't want to risk more than $25. So how do you get someone like that that's that tight to trade bigger? You know, it's their risk management is really high, but they're not. There's no way they're going to profit that well. You know what I mean? So it's really psychological, depending on the person. So I think it's easiest for somebody like you, Karnan, to just see who I am. I think the more you see and hear me talk, you understand the type of person I am, and then place that mentality into the way I trade. And then very possibly you can understand how and why I trade the way I do. So I try to voice why I'm trading larger is because cortisol levels. I feel like trading larger for a shorter amount of time is more conducive than trading smaller many times over. Because statistically things are still going to turn out the same. I'm just really hoping that I don't have a string of bad luck. NK was a great call.
President of Taiwan has drawn up a humanitarian assistance action plan for Hong Kong to relocate citizens to the island. That from Bloomberg.
Yeah. Karnan says experience of controlling emotions. Yeah. I do follow someone named Clay Trader.
S&P futures
I don't.
getting a pop here back over 3,000.
He has good content when it comes to beginners. I don't like the way he trades. Just tell you that up front, because you can see his unrealized become 3 times greater than the profit he makes sometimes. But he likes to say trade without emotions, and I say that's impossible. In fact, there are some people that trade without emotions and fail huge because they have no emotions, if that makes any sense. There are some people out there that like to push their emotionless to an area of failure. That doesn't make sense when I say that out loud, but can you imagine somebody that wants to put their hand on top of a candle and see how much they can take? People do that all the time when it comes to life. They want to see how much punishment they can take. So kind of like a masochist. There are plenty of those in trading. So when you say trade without emotions, you better know
Fed's Bullard says
if your strategy
there's no
works.
pause button for the U.S. economy.
Because sometimes that emotion, that fear, is what keeps you from failing, in my opinion. So, like I said before, quoting Batman, a little bit of fear is a good thing. So, for someone like me, I'm not touting my own horn, but I can trade completely without emotion, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all can see that. And that is a bad thing. So I always come in defensive. I always tell myself, today is the day not to be read. Today, be afraid, and that's when I get to
JILL,
trade better.
Jill getting a spike here. Juliet India Lima Lima, J Jill.
AMD. AMD is grinding upwards, yeah. Daniel Tuguchi, Japanese? I'm sure you are putting these tickers up and you have a method to this strategy. If you could elaborate on why you think what you think AMD would do, it would help. It is grinding upwards, and it broke through the VWAP. I see that.
UK's health minister says we now have capacity for 161,000 tests per day.
Yang, Clay Trader does something I call phishing. I think it's considered phishing.
Fed's Bullard says extended pause risks
Where you
depression-like
where you set
outcome.
where you assume it's going to go to, and you can actually get rebates off that. You don't have, because you're adding liquidity to the market. So he sets a price target where it reaches, and then the further and further it gets away, the more he adds. So he's doubling up over and over again until it gets exhausted, hopefully, in which case his average is good enough when it comes back down. I can't trade like that because I'll need to see that ramp, and he doesn't get to see that ramp until
CSOD.
he gets to predict that it's actually just going to come back or curl down. So I really do not suggest anybody to trade like that. Yes, he gets his rebates from those fees because he's adding liquidity. So that's the only plus, in my opinion, to that kind of strategy. Now, why would I care about $3 or $4 rebates? But yeah, Clay Trader has good knowledge. He's really good at teaching. It's just that I don't like the way he trades, and I really try my best not to try to be subjective, but I can't with him. Another trader that does something similar to that is new is someone like Garage Day Trader. I think Garage Trader. I don't like it. There's also another new guy named Breakout Trading. He's trying to find his way.
ASNA has seen a retail group hitting more new highs now, $1.74.
I really hope he makes it. He's really new though. He's very green, as in new. So, I mean, honestly, I really just when I see these new people on YouTube, I really hope that they are focused, and I really like to see them succeed. That's all I'm hoping for. I really hope the world of YouTube stops with the hype, and just actually give out some real world content. Steven Dukes, he's on the other side of the spectrum, I would say. As in, I would say he's a risk taker for sure. And definitely a lot of gambling inside within his blood to be able to make a lot of money, because you have to risk a lot to get to where he's at. I would say he is the real deal, but the real question is how long can he sustain his success. He seems like a really smart guy, so he's one of those anomalies. But another anomaly we can easily say is Timothy Sykes. That guy got rich really fast too.
Washington
But
Post says Trump administration
is he
sends a
still
land deal waivers.
successful? That's the question. When he is considered a guru, right? Because he has his own lessons, he charges a lot. He brings in
MRI Sand,
people.
Michael Romeo Sandy, November, price target raised from $14 to $21 at BTIG.
There's nothing wrong with.
Says XMT 1536 ORR close.
It's
to
understandable
price
that
ability,
that someone who makes money
or increasing our price
still
from
wants more
14 to
passive income and
21
wants
to
more
14.
money, right? Where
That's
they would
Michael
teach
Romeo
lessons.
Sandy, November, getting that price target raised
It does make
at
sense
BTIG.
that if you have a niche, why not sell it? But then it comes to the question of, do you need that money? Do you need that money
Shares up for Senator
to make
Hicks
money?
now at $14.97, $14.99, hit a high of $16.
That's when it
earlier,
gets
just
sketchy.
ahead of the open.
So
That's Michael Romeo Sandy.
the real question is someone like Timothy Sykes still profitable? And I'm not wishing the worst of anybody, but the question does stand if you have to charge a lot for your courses. Hey, Arthur. Daniel, Warrior Trader, he's legit. I have nothing bad to say about him, except he has a niche. His niche is to trade in the mornings, and you can go about your day. But
SGMS,
harder
popping here,
harder said than done.
$16.08.
More difficult said than done.
7.5% SGMS, Sandy Gulf, Michael Sandy.
Sanjo's asking. Let me ask
Scientific
Jimmy.
Games earlier announcing a suite of innovative solutions to help operators reimagine today's casino floor. Press release earlier from the company.
Can people?
SGMS Scientific
Oops.
Games hitting a high of 16.
Can people hear me on the Discord? CME falling. Oh yeah, that was on the list. CME is it's okay. So guys, CME is something that I'm really uncomfortable with right now. It did pass up what JSEC said, the support area, right? The support was it JSEC that 176.02 he posted on Discord, and it's just let's see. It had no breakthrough on volume past 106. Did it write this one right here? 175.72. This really needs to ramp down before I take
Musk
something
now
like
meeting
this.
with the astronauts.
So the thing is, guys, there are a lot of good traders out there, and I've been told that my strategy is for what did he say? In the comments section he said my strategy is for the highly skilled. Now I'll take that as a compliment, but at the same time I don't think so. I think my strategy is pretty easy for beginners, because beginners don't hold their winners, and my strategy, you're in and out pretty quickly and still make a profit. You can get in late because it's so overextended and still be profitable if it's an A trade, A setup. So it's not like you have to go jump in immediately with high adrenaline. You get to sit there and wait for a movement like we are with CME, and then wait for an actual good signal. So that's why I think counter trend's so much easier for a beginner. Whereas you can teach other methods like a pullback breakout, and that works too. It really depends on your who you are. I know someone who does everything, and he does it pretty good. Jack of all trades. So if you're one of those, then more power to you. Someone that can go long and short. I know Bear does. Bear can go long and short on one stock all day. So thanks, Yang. I think so too. I mean, it really, If you put in 10,000 shares, then yeah, you're gonna feel the pain. You're gonna feel some stress. I mean, that's
CME.
just how it. Okay, now it looks like it's getting pushed down.
Trump administration considering suspending Hong Kong's preferential
Oh yeah.
U.S. tariff rate for exports
In the near
to the
future,
U.S.
I'll
in
have a
response to
webinar.
China's planned
You'll know
security
when
law.
I post
That, according to Reuters
post my
sources
YouTube
now.
advertisements, and to join my webinar, and then you can listen to me talk for another 3 hours. That's the plan. So look forward to that, guys. Okay, so it's spiking down, but we
S&P
don't
futures
have
dipping
that
here at
volume just yet.
29.95.
We want volume.
SoftBank's Vision Fund is said to be cutting 10% of their staff.
Honestly, just to clarify, I was just joking, and I don't love trading like these other people do. I'm doing this because I'm bored, and I can't wait to teach dogs again. I'll always be around, guys. I mean, if I disappear and you need help, just chime in. Look for me on Facebook. But otherwise, the day I can
Governor Cuomo now providing
work
his,
my dogs again
earnings
is the day
update.
I'll immediately jump off stock trading. It is at a good place, CME. I'm looking at the daily here. I just don't have the passion in this like other people do. And coincidentally, that could actually benefit my trading, because I really don't care to win or lose. It's just trading. MIC? Any thoughts on MIC, my investing club, and the Asian guy Bao? I don't know that guy Bao. Is MIC a ticker? It's kind of in the middle, determining if it wants to stay above the VWAP.
BASL BizLink. Tweet now, don't miss our plug and play with
Wow.
BizLink's Micro Light 3 webinar tomorrow.
I have a CME on my separate chart. I'm keeping an eye on that.
Shares getting a pop off of that tweet.
Oh, you're asking about MIC. I don't know. And the Asian guy Bao. Is he on YouTube? Asian guy Bao. Modern rock? Bao? Oh, my investing club. Low float strategy. Eek. That's a... When I see... Okay.
Guy Gentili
Dude,
says
this
he's
guy
long
Bao
2,000
looks really
10Ks,
familiar.
November kilo.
I may actually know this guy.
Wall.
I'll look into him, Eric. I don't... What do you think of him, Karnan? And Eric? If he's not new, I don't generally avoid watching it. I just like
Shares
watching
of
new guys.
West now at 667.
I mean, if you want me to review and see if I call out BS, then yeah, I'll look it up. It looks like he has some good stuff. I'll look into it.
Governor Cuomo says
Exploding
total coronavirus
members?
hospitalizations
Is that a good
declined
word?
further on May 26th
Is he
from
Are the members blowing up their
4,265
account, or are
earlier
they
the
growing
average
really
of
fast?
hospitalizations at 101 versus 201
PZZA.
previous day.
PZZA.
Deaths increased by 74 versus 73 the day earlier.
Close
That's
that
from
window.
Governor Cuomo.
Crap. There you go. Okay. The problem with low price stocks, now I haven't watched him, so I can't verify if he's one of those notification trading people. Now, just to forewarn anybody that's going into low float, or somebody who's chiming in to notify you entries on low floats, is the movement of the market. They have the ability to move the market if they have enough members. Just throwing that out there. Doesn't mean he does it. I'm just saying that low floats actually has the ability to be manipulated by a large chat room. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that he's wrong or he's a scammer. And one of the best mentors I know is someone named Jason Bond, and he is a low float notification chat room in which he can get a lot of money just by announcing a low float. Just saying, not saying that he's one of them. That's good. That's good to know that, last thing I want to hear is another Asian guy scamming somebody. Like, who's that guy? Who's on blast right now? Locke? Dan Locke? Asians already have our own problems. We don't need any more fake people out there. What is Albert listening to? Monster, I'm listening to Benzinga. And Benzinga... Yeah, thank you, Zeebs. Benzinga will tell me when or why a stock is moving. And I feel sorry for you guys on the Discord, honestly, because you don't see the chat, and all you hear is me talking and answering questions. Sorry, guys. I know you're better off just wanting to hear notifications, so I need to figure something out. If you like, chime in and let me know if you like me to mute the Discord unless I have something important to say. But I can totally see how you're not going to hurt my feelings if you think that way, because personally, if I'm trying to find a trade, I want to be focused, and hearing someone like me just continually talk can actually be kind of distracting for sure. Okay. Yeah, I really need to get on the Discord. I really need to get on the stream earlier. That's, it's like really like what Dan Park said. The big trade, in my opinion, is within 2 hours of the market opening, or 1 hour. Now all I'm waiting for is something like what Karnan mentioned in NK, like a pop that needs to drop. These are fun to trade.
Letter
Kinda.
F, Ford says working closely with government and union leaders in Mexico to gradually resume operations and production. That's letter F.
Yeah, Monster, if you have any like direct questions, you can just go ahead and PM me. Like, find me somewhere on the in the Discord and just click on my name and just type to me if you have any direct questions. Just try to nothing wrong with what you just did, but just keep the chat clean for notifications. Not that there is anything interesting right now, I don't think.
New Jersey Governor Murphy says we are well.
Oh, that's
now
you,
well
Kevin?
past the peak.
Okay, cool. Longster is Kevin. Kevin. It's the teacher in me. Every year I used to have to remember at least 180 names within a month. Otherwise the student will feel like I don't care about them.
Not seeing upward inflation pressures right now, heartened by stable inflation expectations. Readings balance sheet will shrink gradually after the crisis.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
Senator Graham sees, U.S. Senator Graham says need to act on bills sanctioning China over Hong Kong.
China and Hong Kong, they're still going at it. China's after India right now, I hear. I don't know what's up with that. So I have a lot of friends on YouTube I've never met, because of arm wrestling, and one of the guys is always he's friendly to me, but he knows I'm Chinese, right? So he'll say stuff like, "What's wrong with your people?" It's like I'm American. I'm not Chinese, but because I'm Chinese, he feels like there's a cultural identity, you know. There isn't, guys. Just to clarify, people don't. Just because I'm Chinese does not mean I relate myself to these people, and neither do Chinese citizens. Just put that in mind. Whatever the Chinese government does not mean that the Chinese people are 100% backing them up.
CMCSA Comcast. First, Leering positive on MRSN price target from $12 to $21. That's Michael Romeo sending November. MRSN.
Yeah, Eric. I had the pleasure to watch that Crazy Rich Asian movie. I think there's a series too, right?
Customers, existing Xfinity HBO customers will have access to HBO Max beginning today.
It was good, actually. I thought it was going to be really materialistic, but it was a good show. Debbie asked, "What do you wait till mid-morning to trade? Do you wait till mid-morning to trade?" And yes, I wait till after 9:15 because I want 45 minutes worth of movement to see the direction of the ticker. Is that best for shorting? That it does seem that way, doesn't it? It really depends on the movement of the market. For instance, in the morning, if the market is going sideways or going down, and I see something going up on my counter trend strategy, that's a very ideal stock to trade because it doesn't care what the market's doing. It's doing what it has to do. So it's going to move on up as the market's going sideways or down, and it may be trying to hit an area on a daily in which I would try to enter if it has the right shape and volume. That would be an A+ setup. If the market is going down today, right now, I won't take anything because my scanners will all turn red because everything's going down, and all of them are going to be false alerts, in which I would be focused on the SPY because the SPY turned into a hurricane, right? It's pushing everything one direction, and I have no idea when the SPY is going to move on up, especially if it's like 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it's power hour. You don't know when it's going to reverse. Actually, you can kind of tell, right? You can use the SPY just like we use reversals on the market, where we see like a spike in volume in the SPY and in a resistance area. But still, it really gets very uncomfortable whenever we see SPY pushing everything. So if we find something that just works on its own, then we know that could be a really good stock to trade. She also asks, can you say what a trader would do in pre-market to look for setups? Okay, one of the questions a lot of people have is, what do I do in the morning? What's my watch list? And my answer is generally I don't have a watch list, because I'm waiting for trade ideas to tell me what to trade, because I don't know what's going to happen. But there is a way to create a watch list, and it's still the same concept as a morning breakout. I'm looking for a lot of movement before the market opens. That stock is the one that's going to be moving a lot, and hopefully it surges forever for 45 minutes until it becomes something that I want to trade as a counter. Even if it doesn't end up having an exhaustion and creating a ramp, that movement alone could be a good counter, because it was an overreaction in the morning. But still, that's going to be a very fast moving stock, and that could be risky as well. You could see something go from gap up and go very green and then go straight to red after 10 minutes, right? We've seen that all the time, because the market decided that it was too far extended. So but generally that would be a nightmare for a morning breakout trader. But that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a lot of movement in the morning, and then see if it spikes long or short. Another way is the 3 candle, where I think Mir Burak does, and some other people do, where say it gapped up or down, doesn't matter, but there's a lot of movement in the morning, and then you wait for a pullback. Say in the pre-market it goes down. So right when the market opens, you want it to see it go up, relieve itself, and then continue on down. And generally that's in 3 candles. And you'll enter for that during that pullback for the breakdown. And you can see that breakdown on the level 2 as the numbers rise. Or that same concept is for long as well. Those are 2 good strategies. That I prefer the pullback ones, because it gives you time for an entry. And you saw me do that with a little bit. I gave you a snippet of that in for Alibaba on one of my early videos, my most recent videos, for possible breakout, that I entered early and then wanted it to break out at a whole number. Yeah, it's generally 3 candles on the 5s, so it gives you some time, 15 minutes. But yeah, those are some good strategies. But of course, in my opinion, or from what I see, it's still a 60-40, 70-30 scenario.
Rates very low to out to medium term. Bullard says Fed has already provided plenty of forward rate guidance.
Yang is talking about the Chinese government, how they have this internet firewall. Yeah, they can manipulate the news big time. Maybe not as well as North Korea, but they're up there. Guys, Chinese people are so afraid of the government that there has been this viral video 5 years ago or so of a baby getting run over by a car or a moped, and everybody saw this child or very young toddler die on the street, and no one will do anything. They just keep walking because they don't want to be held responsible for the repercussions of the government. So they will just walk away and pretend nothing happened. Because if you pick up that baby, you're responsible for that baby, and the government's going to talk to you and ask you what happened. And what are you going to say? You have no idea what happened. You just saw that baby get run over. And you could be, they're so afraid of the government that they don't want to be held responsible. that's how afraid the Chinese people are. Chinese people are just so passive that they're not going to fight the government. So don't assume, for other people out there that don't know how the Chinese people are, we can't assume that the Chinese people have any significant backup towards the government. Yeah. Just throwing that out there. And according to my parents, I'm Taiwanese. I'm not Chinese. DKNG is ramping upwards. It's a breakout, but it has a nice shape. DKNG. It has a pretty nice shape there, doesn't it? Where is it going?
SNDX, Syndax Pharmaceuticals, seeing some small volume coming in, sending the river Delta X-ray.
Here's the drop. Could be a nice little scalp.
Bullard says waiting for vaccine instead of risk mitigation in a reopened economy would increase risk of depression.
Oh, Daily 2 Show asks, is patience the biggest part of your trade? Yes. Sit for hours for a few trades? Yes. So generally, if I'm not streaming right now, I wouldn't be even here. I would have my radio, the computer audio cranked up while I go lay down or
right now
grab something to eat. This is actually a nice move, isn't it? DKNG. Don't get in now if you're not in already. This was a 1 minute trigger. What a beautiful 1 minute trigger. Yeah, so patience. Right in the morning when I wake up and I get, well, I wake up at 9:15, which is 10:15 Eastern Time. And I just look what's there. And if it looks really good, I'll trade it. If it doesn't look good, I won't trade it. And that's about it. I'll stand around for maybe 1 hour. And if I don't see anything, then I'm just going to walk away and go sit and do something until I hear something. So that's just about it, guys. Just waiting for something, that basically. From here on out, all there really is news plays, kind of like NK.
ASNA, Ascena, more new highs now, $1.
Something that just pops, and then that's when we get to counter something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. There's really nothing going on.
Letter M, Macy's announcing pricing of offering of senior secured notes. That's letter M.
I see nothing in M. ASNA is ripping pretty hard right now. ASNA. It's one of those cheap ones. guys. There's nothing. So there's remember CME, how we were trying to predict it. This is basically what happened to me on Monday, yesterday. I don't know what I was thinking, but when you see something like this, you really think that it needs to turn around, right? But as the volume's decreasing, you really don't know where it's going to go. And if we look at the daily now, where are we? We're down to here. Now this looks like a really good place as well, doesn't it? Touching here, here, here. Actually touching a lot of areas right here. So maybe hopefully you'll see some volume and a possible curl up. I don't foresee a push down. We do see some volume here though. But this one's just so unpredictable that if you enter anywhere here, you just would have to put a stop placed far away because we have no idea where it's going to stop, right? So this is what I would say is just one of those trades you probably want to avoid, even though it looks good. Now here's another thing that we could kind of say that I would tell myself is that a lot of these red candles don't have wicks.
MU Micron Technology with some guidance. Michael Uniform sees Q3 gap revenue of 5.2 to 5.4 billion.
I want to see
Q3 gap earnings of 61 to 66
like this one right here.
MU Micron Technology.
If I look at these that go down, some of them never come up. Like this one, it does. Well, it goes up a little bit.
Shares of Micron getting a spike here now.
So
MU.
I would avoid something like
CHDN.
that. MU pop. MU is a big pop. Right here.
Again, Micron says sees Q3 adjusted earnings of 75 to 80 cents. That's versus the 56-cent estimate for Micron MU.
MU is a huge pop.
Revenue of 5.2 to 5.4 billion versus the 4.39 billion estimate. So strong guidance from
Look at
Micron.
it push up.
Shares moving above
It's going higher.
$46 on MU.
Price target.
Micron now at 46.20, continue to move
There's
higher.
a $66 price target from $70. Maintains a buy rating.
The
That's Mike Uniform, MU.
ETF SMH also getting a pop here, 138.48. Shares of AMD starting to move higher now, 51.48.
MU, taking a look at the 15s up here. It's right in that area that just passed it up like it was nothing. 46.68 is a nice spot. Started at 46.80. This one is getting nicely extended here, guys. Up here, this one daily is 47.04. We're at 47, aren't we? That's a good number. 47 is a good number.
Micron shares now spiking here, $47 the high.
Beautiful.
2.5% on MU Micron.
So just let it run, guys. See where it goes. 1 minute trigger if possible. Mike Uniform. There's a pullback. Wow. I'm too slow. That was possible entry on this one would have been just on the 47. But look at it. Look at it fight. Is it going to get it back above 47? This one's tricky. I would trade small. It went above 47. Look at that. Look at that wick. Insane.
Mu.
Beautiful. Okay. I am
Shares with
interested.
Micron hitting 47.36 now, up 3.
MU has my
3.5%
attention.
now on MU.
CHDN.
So this, this is where patience is virtue, guys. So I would look for a 1 minute trigger. Super high area would be in the 48.50s.
Micron hitting 47.79 at the high, up about 4% at the high now on Micron on a very strong guidance raise from the company.
See how it reacts to 48. I want to see it just punch on through.
Mu.
Coming up at 2 p.m., the beige book.
Okay. Here it is. Punch down here, I will enter. Entered. Let's see if it goes. I'll set my stop at 47.50-ish.
Las Vegas announcing June
Entry
4th
was
reopening date. This is the 18th of
46.96.
November. WYNN. Wynn Resorts getting a pop here, 86.03.
What? You want to see? Well, let's see if this one goes, David. My stop was at 47.50. My entry was at 46.96. Okay. I'm out very soon on the 1 minute. I'm out here. 46.60. It's still gonna go, guys. You did good, David. Okay? Be right back, guys. This guy needs to eat.
BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond getting a pop here. Bravo, 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 Yankee. BBBY. BBBY.
This one's getting scary, isn't it? So the only question we have now is it going to go to 48.50? This is why I wouldn't set my stop at high a day. My stop was at 47.50 because that's a nice $0.50 area of resistance, and it's still going down. So with something like this, guys, as it goes sideways a bit, I like to use the fib at the very start of this. Oh, what is that? It's the wrong way.
AAL, Alpha Alpha Lima, American Airlines CEO says more and more people feeling comfortable flying.
fib like
speaking at a
this.
Conference.
It's
That's
going back up.
AAL, Alpha Alpha
If it
Lima.
breaks over 50, then it gets stopped out. I wouldn't put my stop any, because it may just actually shoot back through over 48.
TGI.
Yeah, Kevin, that was fast, wasn't it? I mean, that's basically why I like these kind of trades. You get in and out. I wouldn't stick around and see if it's going to actually go that high. And yeah, that's possibly where I would have got stopped out if I didn't get out.
American
CME.
today at the Bernstein Strategic Decisions Conference.
Oh, so hopefully you guys got out somewhere where I got out for the 30-cent run-ish. 30-ish cent. Finally found something to trade. It's okay, Kevin. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. You know, and in fact, if this was something I saw in the morning, I wouldn't trade it. But because it's, you know, at 140 and I'm already over 1,000, I really don't care, honestly. Yeah. So if you paper traded this and you got stopped out, then, you know, just lesson learned. Try to get in on the 1 minute and just get it to touch the 1 minute, the 1 minute 9 EMA. We're not trying to get greedy here.
Mu.
I mean, of course, it could go, but the mere fact that we identified on the daily that there was a 48.50 area makes things a little bit sketchy, right? It takes away a lot of conviction.
47.89 the high on Micron, MU.
So that just takes away. This ruins my Fibonacci. Kevin, what was your share count? Oh, 300 shares? I didn't trade large on this one.
Smile Direct, July $9 call sweep in Sandy Delta Charlie.
CME is curling up. Who? Oh yeah, see, that's just unpredictable, isn't it? But you gotta understand that this CME is not a lesson to be learned. So I really don't want to have anybody say, well, if I just got in on the 1 minute, this could have happened. Not every day, because this one definitely was spiralated. See how the wind just blew it up right here? So there's no telling if this is going to continue going or not. This was kind of like catalyzed based on the SPY movement. Just throwing that out there doesn't mean it's not going to go, and because it's so far overextended. I just worry about these kind of movements because we don't know if it's going to go sideways and then come up even further. That is a good trigger. So yeah, if you want guidance on this, Jeremy's probably the best person to ask because he's good at these. MRSN is ripping up, but you know, it's more like a breakout, daily breakout.
ALJJ, Alpha Lima Juliet Juliet, getting a
If you're still in MU, it's
volume.
actually not looking bad now.
That's AL,
As it fades away,
ALJJ hitting a high 58 cents, up almost 10%.
if you're still holding MU, the one thing I like seeing is the volume diminish. See how the volume's diminishing? Now, if you're still in it, you could get lucky and just have this trickle down. That happens sometimes, down to the 50%.
CDC reporting 99,031 total deaths due to coronavirus versus 98,261 previous day. Total count of 1.688 million coronavirus case versus previous 1.6 million. That's from the CDC.
Very nice analysis, Sonny. On GNRQ.
AAL, American Airlines CEO, says system-wide load factor was 56% over the Memorial Day weekend, about 20% of the schedule. That's with about 20% of the scheduled flying. That's Alpha Alpha Lima.
But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to call it. I'm probably going to be more shorts coming. Yeah, that's true, Sonny. Nice analysis. I'm glad you're back.
MRSN.
MRSN. MRSN is ripping. But I think
ALJJ making more new highs now. Alpha Lima Juliet.
in a daily it looks ugly, right? It's recovering. I don't like that. VTIQ. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it today. One trade on the stream. It's not bad. But yeah, I'll be sure to try to get the stream running early, right before things happen. That way, at least you can follow along in the morning ones that I try to do. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for joining me. This is going to be one of those long ones. I'll be sure to timestamp the actual trade. That way, people don't have to watch the thing in entirety because there's really nothing there, right? Other than talking about stuff and rambling. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hey, don't forget to click the like and then click the notification. Sometimes it doesn't work, according to my wife, but you know, for the most part, it's just so you can know that when I'm actually streaming. That way, I don't have to like notify y'all. Even though most likely I will be streaming on Fridays because those are the relaxing days when we're just trying to trade small and try to see something. Telegram, that's okay. Sonny, that's not. I'll take you on for that. Yeah, you're very welcome. And yeah, take care, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.